Absolutely. I was filming in the very city center of Kharkiv in front of the regional administration center, which had also been shelled at the very beginning of the war. There was no air raid alert, and then we heard this explosion. Now, I knew it was not in the city center, but I feared that it might be in a residential area. You've mentioned this is a DIY store. This is where people would go, especially on a Saturday when they're off work. They would go to find anything they would need for their house. So as soon as it became clear that it had hit, that a bomb or several bombs actually had hit this store, there were fears that many civilians might be killed. You've mentioned it. There's 6 people who are confirmed to be dead. There's over 40 people injured, and there's also a number of people, 16 people, who are unaccounted for. The grim reality is that because of the fire caused by those guided bombs, there's DNA forensic experts who are on site. They're trying to identify any body that they will find to try and bring news to families, because we're talking about families who don't know yet if they have lost a relative or not. So of course it's very, very hard on Kharkiv population, on anyone being in Kharkiv, to day in, day out experience those shelling. I was checking on a friend just earlier to see if she was okay, because she lives in that area. And she was telling me, I don't know what to think, whether to leave my city, whether to stay no matter what, or whether to kill myself. And when you hear that, this is the grim reality that Ukrainians are going through everywhere in Ukraine, because nowhere is safe as long as Ukraine's skies are not safe. And we've heard it in the report. Russia is only 30 kilometers away from Kharkiv. Ukraine cannot strike back within Russian territory, and just at the border you have those planes in Russia taking off and in all security are sending those guided bombs on Ukraine's second biggest city, Europe's 19th biggest city prior to the full-scale invasion, and Ukraine cannot defend itself. So it's a very, very grim feeling tonight here in Ukraine.
Well, Emmanuelle, you mentioned that feeling of fear, and obviously Kharkiv being on the border, across the border is the city of Belgorod, where local officials say that Ukrainian missiles killed 4 people. That was also on Saturday. Ukraine is asked to use Western weapons and defend itself by possibly striking Russian targets. Do you see that coming to fruition and more urgency being placed now, given this latest strike on Kharkiv?
Well, it's been over a month that strikes have been increasing on Kharkiv, and the pressure is mounting also on Ukraine's allies to react. So we've heard Germany sending more IRIS-T defense systems, and that's the kind of news that would be very welcomed by the Ukrainian population, by the Ukrainian government. This is what Ukrainians are hoping for. They want their skies to be safe. They don't want to wake up every day to the sound of shelling. I was in Kharkiv for a few days. I was at this print house that has been shelled 2 days ago. 7 people died. Yesterday, the large, Ukrainian flag floating over Kharkiv was at half-mast to mourn those people. It was only up again today, and it seems that Ukrainians don't even have time to mourn their dead before there's a new victims added to the list of civilians being killed. So that print house also very important to mention, that there was no military target there. There was no military personnel, no military equipment, only the biggest print house in Ukraine, which was also furnishing, schools, providing schools with at least half of the school books that Ukrainian children were using. So another attack on Ukrainian culture, Ukrainian language, added to the very long list of shelling on civilian infrastructures, and Ukraine calling for the international community to step up its efforts to help Ukraine fighting against those attacks.